Okay, so today we are joined by Sean. Sean helps businesses bring their brands to life with words that work. As a brand copywriter and strategist, she specializes in defining tone of voice, shaping brand identity, and building communication strategies. By applying brand archetypes and smart positioning, she ensures companies sound like themselves, only sharper, so they can attract the right audience and sell their products or services to those who need them most. Sean, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Carol. So excited to be here with you today.
I'm so excited to have you here. Honestly, I really am excited for this one. Okay,
It's been
so
a long,
I
long
ask
journey to getting
everyone,
here.
oh, it has been a while. It really has been a while. I tend to ask everyone that comes on the show the same question. So every entrepreneur has what I like to call a client code, a system that makes getting and keeping clients feel effortless. What part of your code do you think you've fully cracked?
Can you just repeat how? Getting and keeping clients. The
Every
system of
entrepreneur
getting and
has what I like to call a client code, a system that
keeping.
helps getting and keeping clients feel effortless. What part of your unique code would you say that you've really cracked or mastered? What would you say that is?
I would say partnering up with people that are also in a similar line of work that bring me clients so that I don't have to do the hard selling myself, but just do the work.
Honestly, there's some great truth in that. Sometimes, like, we waste so much time doing things that we don't need to be doing or that aren't our strength. So, yeah, I get that. That's really smart. And what
Some would
part,
say.
curious, yeah, it is smart. It's very smart. I'd love
Thank
to
you.
know though, what part feels like of your client code or your secret sauce feels like still needs a little bit of work.
I would say probably setting up the entire sales system, to be very honest, something that can almost run on autopilot because it's not something that I still or ever actively want to have to do. I'm not a salesperson. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care to try and sell to people. I'm more closer. If you need it, I'm happy to help you have it and give you really good service of whatever it is that you need, especially in terms of copy. But actually finding people, no,
Yeah.
I would need help with
No.
that.
And I think that's honestly where a lot of us in the service industry get stuck. We're really good at doing the work, we're really good at producing it, but going out there and being a salesperson, honestly, it's not for a lot of us. So I think many people listening to us today are going to be like, yeah, that's me.
This is me too. So on the Me Three movement. Is
Exactly,
that
exactly. It's
inappropriate?
us.
Is that inappropriate?
Maybe a tad. But you know what? This is a no nonsense podcast. So we don't have time to sugarcoat things. Let's just get to the meat and potatoes.
Exactly.
I want to know from you, Sean, what would you think is the most common copywriting mistakes that stop people from getting clients or just putting their best foot forward out there?
Oh, the most common one is definitely just writing from your own perspective and not putting yourself in the consumer's mindset or at least your target audience's mindset. I feel like a lot of businesses write for ways that make them feel good without thinking about how it's going to impact the end user.
Mm. So it's more like let's make ourselves look sexy and shiny and thing and not really coming from a place of service at all.
Or you're just emulating someone that you saw, you're in your business and you love the way Apple writes their words. Simple, straight to
Mm-hmm.
the point, very minimalist. As a new business where people don't understand you, that's not going to work because people need more information to understand you. And taking this approach just because you want to emulate someone who's already been there and done that doesn't help you as a startup or even as a business that's been around for 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So it's more about like finding your own voice so that you can stand out in a very crowded place.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people don't pay attention to how their brand is almost a mannequin. If you have to envisage what your brand should be, think about a mannequin. If you're walking in a shop and there's a naked mannequin, it's quite a thing to see sometimes, actually. But as a brand,
No,
you're supposed
behave.
to, yeah, it's always weird, right? But as a brand, that's what I think people should start with. Start with a naked mannequin and then figure out like what kind of clothes do we want to adorn this person with? Does this mannequin pay attention to other things? Like, do we put lashes on this mannequin? Do we not? There's so many things that And obviously, I'm not talking about physical attributes, but these are things that should tie back into your brand to make someone see your mannequin or your brand and go, oh, that's Carol Kabale. I know exactly that's
Mhm.
her because she loves the nude tones and she's super like, she's bougie and she's all about the affluence. Like, that's it.
That's definitely me in a nutshell. There are some other stuff, but we're going to have to peel me back like an onion to get to them.
Exactly.
I love that. Okay, so definitely picturing copywriting like a mannequin that we have to dress. I think that's a good foundation because, again, you're working with things one step at a time. You're not putting the whole outfit together in one go. You're just thinking, okay, what top should we get them? What dress should we get them? Accessories. So, yeah, I love the way you thought about that. Yeah, that's amazing. Okie dokes. We need more thingy in questions because I lost my place. Okay.
There's a thing you
Okay.
can use. I know Steven likes to talk about it. Notify or something like that. I don't know. AR notes and stuff.
Yes. I know what you're saying. I know what you mean. I need to do more of that. How would you know? Hey, John, okay. Hi, Carol. I'm putting my hand up to be the guinea pig. How do I know if my copy is actually connecting to the audience? Because you spoke about how we need to write for these people and we need to dress the mannequin, if we will. But how do I know it's actually connecting with the right audience?
I think the easiest way to do this is to have a bit of an A/B test. So if you're working with someone like yourself who is amazing at Facebook ads, you would run two different versions of the same ad and you would have the same same image, but different copy. One would be something generic and the other would be something that's more aligned to your exact brand tone of voice, the words that you want to use, and the things that mean more to you as a business that would make sense to your audience. See which ad gets clicked on most and then work with the copy that resonates.
Okay. And after I do this A/B test, let's say I'm not ready to run ads, but I want to do it organically. Would you suggest that maybe I do one post organically with one set of copy and then the next day I do something with different copy and look at metrics like engagement or things like that? How would I do it?
No, I think that is the point where you really need to consider, are you an expert in this field and are you going to be wasting a lot of your time trying to figure out something that's going to take someone maybe 20, 30 minutes of just having a discussion with you about? Find the expert, have a call with them before any expert is going to charge you anything. They will most likely give you free information. So just
Yeah.
ask them for a call, chat with them, and get whatever information you can out of them and take that as the golden nugget, put it into your ChatGPT or whatever it may be, and ask them to just help you develop a brand persona or at least a tone of voice that works for you. But remember, it shouldn't work for you. It needs to work for your target audience. So always start with who do you serve?
I love that. Always start with who do you serve? Now that I've got kind of who I serve, what would you say I need to focus on to get more clients on my website, on my sales pages? What piece of copy do I focus on first? Because I feel like there's a lot. There's emails, there's ads, there's the website. Like, where do I start?
The easiest thing that's not going to cost you a ton of money is always going to be your own social media stuff. But again, this comes as a double-edged sword. Are you trying to save time or are you trying to save money? Always find an expert. I always just say that. Always find an expert because especially if you're starting out and you don't necessarily know what you're going to get yourself into, it costs more in the long run and you do more damage to your own brand than just working with someone. But if you are wanting to do it yourself, I would say start out with your website because that's going to be the first place that people go to get your validation and to make sure that you are who you say you are. From there, if it feels good and it looks nice, maybe then go to your Facebook and make sure that every single touch point, no matter what you're creating, looks the same. If it looks detached, if it looks different, if it sounds different, it's very difficult for your audience to connect the dots and go, oh, that's Carol Kabale. Instead, it goes, that's Carol, maybe that's Carol. I don't know who that is, but and it's very confusing. So it kind of erodes the trust before it's even created. So start with the website. I think that's always the best place to begin.
Okay, I love that. Now, would you say that you had any real world examples? Like, what's been your favorite client that you've done kind of like the journey you've said, every single touch point? Could you give us an example of how that copy that you created or that client journey that you created for them through copy turned into paying clients?
Yes, absolutely. There's so many. Just need to go through the archives of the human
Yes,
brain.
there is so many. Yes, there is. Tell the people. Tell the people.
So let's work with one that has been a long-standing client. This one is in a very difficult technological space that was very difficult to explain software as a service, especially before technology. We all understand software as a service now because apps are everywhere, but take it
Mm-hmm.
back 5 years ago when it was very much like humans are doing the work and selling the
Mm-hmm.
software, and the software doesn't do much of the selling for itself. It's very difficult to explain. I always say it's like selling a smartphone to a caveman. They don't really know what it is. They're going to try and bash it and make fire out of it, surely. It's not it. Anyway,
Love that.
the thing that really works there is understanding the client. So even though it's a technological product and that kind of industry gets caught up in so much jargon because I don't understand why, but the tech industry just likes to do that for their own purposes. I dumbed it down because their end user wasn't tech people. It was hospitality owners, restaurant owners, people staying in hotels, people who just needed really simple language that are most likely in a relaxed setting that just needed simple steps to achieve whatever it was that they were doing with this technology. This technology helped them connect to an open Wi Fi and made sure that they were secure and they weren't going to get hacked while they were on this open Wi Fi. And it was just about explaining that in a very simple way to the end user. Again, understanding who's using your product makes a world of
Mm-hmm.
difference. And I think from there, they've expanded from a South African company to an Irish company to a UK company. And that branding has obviously helped them communicate their values and what they do.
Well, yeah, guys, I mean, you're listening to how something as simple as words has helped elevate a company from being in a local market to an international market, taking something as diverse as technology, with, unless you work in that field, really can feel like jargon and like, what is this and why am I doing this? And honestly, it feels like maths. I don't know if anybody else can resonate with this, but like, no, when I see technology, I see the numbers in front of my face and I'm like, girl.
Equations?
So yes, equations are all around my head. So I love the way you put it, Sean. It's like, dumb it down. Get to the point of it. Because if you make it so, for a lack of a better word, pretentious and overly, like, no one's going to understand what you're doing. It's like, hey, I help you with 1, 2, 3, 4. That makes it so simple for clients to find you. I love that. So
Okay.
following that, let's go into what you think is one thing every entrepreneur should know when they're writing copy that sells. Particularly, I would say, when they're also using the help of AI, which is very fun.
Well, one thing I would definitely impart is do not sell your brain to AI. Please keep it in your head and try and make use of it when it regurgitates information. I think we're going to get to a place when everyone's using AI, obviously, and it's all going to start sounding the same, which it already is. People are not sounding like themselves. And it's a
Yeah.
scary thing if you know people personally and they start sounding like they've got a PhD and who knows what, but they don't. Anyway, I would say start with what you know, start with who it's for, and put your mind into your consumer's headspace when they are using your product. From there, you'll understand what they need from your product and how to write about it in a way that actually has some resonance for the people, and they're not sitting there reading words that you think look pretty and make you look smart.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I think honestly, that's probably why I've had such disconnect with certain platforms, because everyone's captions look exactly the same. Everyone's videos, even if it is a video, is exactly the same. And you're just like, huh, well, that's boring. And it makes you want to go somewhere else. So yeah, I think we've got to get back to sprinkling a little bit of us back to AI, because at this point, these guys are doing the most and it's not helping anyone.
No.
Sean, I really loved our conversation. I need two more things out of you and then I'm going to let you go because I know you're super busy doing the most with copy. And I know my listeners have gotten so much good things out of this. So you know this about me. It's one of my favorite sayings: what you don't change, you choose. So I would love to know, what are you, Sean, choosing today?
Cool. Actually, goes on a meeting that I just had with a client. I had an interesting discussion that I must now choose. Do I remain in the position that I'm in now, where it's me doing the business and then I outsource certain things to certain people when there's an overflow? Or do I step into the desire that I truly absolutely have, which is to be a fully fledged agency with an office, with people? I want a building, I want a helipad, I want all of that stuff. Do I then choose? Exactly. Do I choose to take the hard road, the road I do not know much about, but figure it out as well with advice and mentors and advisors and all the rest of it? Or do I stay in the comfort zone as to where I am now, which is very comfortable? Let me be honest with you. It's very comfortable. It's very nice, very stressful, but it's not the absolute desire. So I'm choosing today to step into the absolute desire because, I mean, Carol, we do nothing less than the best. So we might as well.
With that, I'll leave you with one more little saying to say that diamonds are made under pressure. So you, my friend, are certainly a diamond. And this new role in your life is just going to be exactly what the doctor ordered. I cannot wait to see what you're doing. I cannot wait to use that helipad. Girl, sign me up. Sign me up. Before we wrap up, where can the people find you? Where can I send them? Where can they be like, here's Sean, go do the things?
You can find me all over all of the platforms. Probably not that active on X because it's X. I'm on Instagram, Newsroom with a K. People, it's a silent K. It's a whole thing. We'll explain it one day. Newsroom with a K on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, not Twitter. What's that? TikTok, that one. TikTok. Probably most active on TikTok. That's where you'll get the most authentic version of me.
I love it. I love it. Well, again, Sean, it was such a pleasure to have you here. And yeah, thank you for being here.
Always a pleasure to be in your spaces, Mrs. Kabale.
Yay!